Welcome, everyone. Now, parenthood can feel a bit like a test, can't it? An endurance test at the best of times. But at what point, I am wondering today, is when did us parents believe that we need to get full marks? So let's chat about this. I am Sam, your host, and you are listening to Surviving Parenthood, the parenting podcast. So what are your mistakes? What do you feel are your mistakes? How do you react when you feel like you have made a mistake? What do you feel really good about as a parent? Tell me. I want to hear from you. I love it when you make a comment, and I will get back to you. So what kind of mistakes are there? I was thinking about this. I guess there's like the small mistakes, right? So forgetting the tooth fairy, forgetting the PE kit, them eating too many biscuits that day. You know, the list does go on. And I've already done pretty much all of those this week. And I guess there's the slightly less small mistakes, like perhaps dismissing their feelings, perhaps raising voices, perhaps getting frustrated, perhaps not giving them the attention they need in that moment. Now, if a big mistake occurs at home, we absolutely recommend you seek help from professionals. This episode is intended for the usual ongoing day-to-day mistakes. Okay, so I know I sometimes need to work on how I reframe a mistake that I make by the way my children occasionally react or respond when they make a mistake. So what I mean by this is sometimes they respond well, own up, apologise, the things that I want them to do, and sometimes not. So my eldest can have a tendency to over-apologise at times, and sometimes my youngest can do the complete opposite and deny all sense of responsibility and not want to apologise. Now, I know I do both of these. And I guess as a parent, I need to observe and continually be aware of admitting my own failings, because I think potentially that's the root cause of both those behaviours. So it got me thinking about how we parents feel when we make a mistake and what we can do moving forward to ease the pressure on ourselves ultimately and resolve things with our children as well. We're in this together as always, but to save you time, after some thinking, some research, I've put together some ideas and suggestions for you lovely parents when it comes to making mistakes and how to be proactive. So there is being mindful. Now, you might hear me talk a lot about this, but it's true. So I might say potentially our lifestyle and parenting choices. And what I mean by this is whether we work, whether we stay at home, you know, do baby-led weaning, whether we choose to breastfeed or can breastfeed or make our own kids' Christmas costume plays, whatever, it matters less. And the way we engage in the here and now with our kids matters more. So if we talk to them and interact with them in a way that is meaningful and intentional and considered for some of the time, how many errors you might or might not make, how many parental glitches there might be is less important. So for example, basically getting it across to them in a nutshell, I'm not perfect. I'm not always good at things. I'm not always able to do what you need, but I am trying. But I am here, but I do love you. And now you'll use your own words, but that's sort of the crux of it. Basically, to get it across to them that you are listening and that you are here with them right at this very moment. And that's impossible all of the time, but just generally, how we engage with them is really important. And I will say is don't give yourself a terrible time when mistakes are made. You know, what's really important is that we do let go of that self-judgment and find a way to move forward. It's okay to feel guilty for a few moments, for a little while, because guilt can actually be constructive because It makes us wonder about how we might be able to do things better in the future, but not let it spiral. So not let it slip into shame. Healthy guilt looks like, this wasn't great. What can I do to resolve it? Shame looks less like, I did that wrong, and more like, my whole self is wrong. So just being aware of that. So when we start to judge ourselves like this, we, basically prevent any kind of personal growth. And the kids will then learn perhaps the pattern of beating themselves up for a mistake. So it's great for kids to see that their parents make mistakes and see the steps that are needed to amend the situation. For example, recognize the way they feel. If they're upset with something that you've done, validate that. Apologize for how you behaved, why it was inappropriate, even though that might feel tricky. I find this owning up to our faults is, however, so empowering for all of the family. Saying to them, can we have a chat? Depending on their age, you find the right words for your situation, but can we talk about how I can fix this, what we can do to move forward? I'm just realizing how much we actually learn about ourselves as parents. Forgiveness is the next thing. So basically, this involves a lot of self-care, also positive thinking. So self-care can look a bit like, why am I behaving like this? Am I taking too much on? Am I making enough time for myself? Am I putting my needs first some of the time? And when we practice good self-care, we have better empathy. We're more able to forgive ourselves. We're more able to have space for others, including our children. Positive thinking, very cool. It can look like, sometimes this isn't great, but what is great? What is great about me as a parent? Ask yourself that. There will be so many amazing things that you contribute. So really celebrate and mark that, because that's really important. So lower impossible standards of getting it right all the time, and really embrace all the amazing things that you are doing. So looking after ourselves, self-compassion, owning our mistakes, apologizing when we do make them, and being very much in the here and now when we interact with our children might relieve any making mistakes stress. So if you did even want to go a little bit deeper after today, you could ask yourself things like, when do you feel disconnected from parenting? When are you most likely to make a mistake? When are you likely to doubt yourself? And just being honest, what parts of parenting and even your child, let's face it, do you find irritating or stressful? And writing this down, journaling, it's just a really great way to discover what's going on beneath the surface. And then we can move forward when we do have that knowledge. If you are looking for any support or resources on Twinkl, we have lots. We do have perfectionism practical tips and perfectionist parenting affirmations in the wellbeing section of the parents page. And if you want to get in touch, you can follow us or get in touch on our Twinkl Parent social media or this channel. If you want to know more, please do get in touch. Don't forget to like this video. And if you have any thoughts, leave a comment. I do get back to you. And if you would like to leave us a positive review, we would appreciate this enormously. We've got some lovely guests lined up. So please stay tuned for more frank, guilt-free, open-minded chats with me. See you soon.